Hi guys, welcome back to Rewrite with Ali. I'm here with Julie.
Yes.
She is Fine Lines by Julie on Instagram, right? That's your handle?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I also have a studio called Artistry Studios, and
Okay.
I have a tattoo artist with me.
And where is your tattoo studio?
It's located literally the same road, just like
on Clearwater?
all the way, all the way at the end. I don't know if you know where like Badger Coffee is at.
Yes.
Right there.
Yeah, Badger Canyon, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now looking back, do you see from your childhood any creativity or anything that might have influenced your decision to tattoo, or was it solely because it was blowing up and because you found interest in it when it started trending?
Honestly, like looking back, I feel like when I was younger, I did not have motivation like I do now at all. Like I was really dumb. Like I wouldn't make the best choices when I was younger.
Yeah.
But I feel like I learned from those choices a lot. Like looking back, I'm like, I was so dumb. Like why did I do that?
Yeah.
Why did I do that? And so that motivated me to do better. That motivated me to, like, when I become a mom, I want to be a present mom. Yeah, that she was like my motivation. And like also like I want to be able to live comfortably. And I knew I didn't want to work a 9 to 5, and I learned from a lot of mistakes from my middle school, high school years. And I actually had moved out of my home at 16, so I felt like being on my own so young also made me mature so much faster.
Kind of forces you into that, right?
It does.
With tattooing, because you meet a lot of new people.
Yes.
And they ask for different things, different
Yes.
tattoos.
Yeah.
What has been one of the stories behind a tattoo that you will never forget because it was so powerful?
So I have this one client. She's always in my mind. I do a lot of memorial tattoos, a lot. But I met her once in 2022, I believe. I tattooed her. She came with her mom. After that, I didn't see her until a year later, but this time she came back to do a memorial tattoo for her mom. Her mom and her sister.
Her mom and her sister?
You know, my daughter was still little, and she's, my client's grown and everything, but like, I just cannot imagine going through that. And like,
Yeah.
I know, like, obviously something like that is really difficult. Her way of coping was getting tattoos. That's one thing about tattooing, is like being able to be there for somebody.
Yeah.
And being able to do something for them in honor of whoever it is. I would come home to my husband and I would cry, honestly, because like it hurt. Like I couldn't understand her, but I know that obviously, like, when you lose somebody, it's not a good thing. I don't know, I felt like I had a connection with her, and I didn't know why. But every time she would come in, like, she would tell me, hey, like, can I come in this day? And I would say yes, like, don't worry about it, come in, like, just come in. Like, even if it was like late at night or whatever, like, I wanted to be there for her because I know she needed
so
that.
Sweet.
Yeah, and like me being able to do that made me so happy. I didn't do that because I wanted something in return. I just genuinely wanted to be there for somebody who
You cared
needed.
for her, yeah.
I did.
And do you say that you can't understand because you've never been through that, or why do you say I can't understand?
Yeah, I can't understand how she felt because I didn't lose a sister or I didn't lose a mom, and so I know it hurts, and it hurts me when like they tell me stories like that, and like it makes me sad, but like it also now I can understand a little bit more because 3 months ago I lost my mom, and so now I can completely understand how she felt. And so I just feel like with tattooing, it's really rewarding. You're able to put like permanent reminders of a loved one on somebody, and like you're able to be there for people. Not a lot of people have people there for them, or people who can understand them.
I think that's the part. It's the people who can understand them.
Yes.
So when you said that I can't understand, that stuck out to me because this tattoo, El Tigre, is for my dad who passed away. And when all of that was going on, people would say, oh, I understand how you're feeling, all this stuff. I'm here for you. But in my head, I'm like, no, you don't
Yeah,
understand.
exactly.
Like, you
Yeah.
still get to go home to your dad. You
Yeah,
know, you still get to
exactly.
call him on the phone. You don't understand.
Exactly.
And so now when
Yes.
people lose someone, I always say that I don't understand what you're going through, but I'm here for you.
Yes.
And I think that's so powerful. And what people need to hear during those
Yeah,
times. And like you said,
exactly.
you would sounds like you would even change your schedule to fit her in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I was a couple of weeks postpartum. I
wow.
wasn't fully working at that time, but whenever she wanted to come in, I made it work.
You gotten any more memorial tattoos for your mom?
I did. I recently, so I had already had an appointment scheduled. I think it was September 22nd. And she was supposed to see it, but everything just escalated so quickly, so she didn't get to see my tattoo. But I ended up getting like a floral piece here. So I had gotten a butterfly here. Around it, it's like a mirror. It has her birth flowers on one side, and then it has a sunflower at the bottom. The first night that she passed away, I got like this vivid image in my head. Like, as soon as I shut my eyes, I seen her walking like in a field of sunflowers. I tried seeing that image again and I couldn't. And so after that, sunflowers stuck to me. And I feel like I seen that image because last year we took my daughter to the Middleton's farms.
Oh, yeah.
And her favorite part was the sunflowers, going through the sunflowers with my daughter. Yeah. So that's the tattoo I got for her. So now I'm able to connect with my clients so much more. And like when they're like, hey, like I want a tattoo, like it's in honor of this person. I try and fit them in as soon as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Like listening to all the stories of people, especially when you've experienced it, then you know their deep pain.
Yes.
Like before, you couldn't feel, or you couldn't really empathize, but you could imagine, you know, like you can imagine how that feels, but now you really know.
Yes, exactly.
And when I hear about someone losing a parent, that makes me want to get emotional because I know how painful that is, right?
Yes.
So then, and you don't want this person to feel that pain, but they do feel that pain.
Yeah,
You know, even
right?
thinking about my siblings having to feel that pain.
Yeah.
I just like wish I could take it away from them,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It's
so true.
horrible. But
So I feel like with grief, it changed my whole perspective in not just life, but also in my business.
yeah.
Because I feel like you are able to see how much like precious life is after going through that. Like you see how good you have it, you know, if you're healthy and you know you're able to walk, move, speak.
Yeah.
You are so blessed to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm so blessed to be able to be healthy, to be able to move, because I am able to do what I do now. I am able to connect with clients so much more. I feel like when I go into my shop, I don't take anything for granted. I see how blessed I am to be able to work, to be able to meet so much new people. You get an opportunity every single day, and like you just never know. It changes your perspective a lot.
Yeah. If you don't mind me asking, was your mom sick with like cancer? Or?
Yes. So in June, my brother graduated high school. She was fine, and then like 2 weeks later, she started getting like symptoms, and so she went to the doctors. They're like, "Oh, it's just E. coli. Take medication, go home." Well, she was getting worse every week, worse, to the point where she couldn't get out of bed. She couldn't smell stuff, and it was just way more like other symptoms that was getting worse. And I was like, "Okay, mom, like, you need to go to the hospital
And see a second opinion or something.
Yes. So in July, we closed on our house, and then immediately after that, my husband's grandpa had passed away. We had to go and attend a funeral out of town. We come home to our new constructed house flooded on the upstairs. Yeah.
Oh my
I was just having
gosh.
the
One
worst
thing
luck
after the
ever.
other.
Yeah, it was
Holy
horrible.
moly.
And then like with the business, like it was cancellation after cancellation. Like I don't know, something was going on that month because it was bad. And then so probably a week after like buying our house and going through all of that, like all of that went out the window. Like I did not care about my house being flooded or anything like that, because I told my mom to go to the hospital because she wasn't feeling well. And I ended up getting a phone call around midnight. My sister had called me and she was telling me that I was right, that my mom had stomach cancer. And so I rushed to the hospital. And then after that, she had to be rushed to Seattle, and she spent the entire month there. She came home for one night, but had to be rushed back because of her symptoms. Like, she had to get surgery after surgery. And then the doctors were like, there's nothing else we can do. And like, I felt like one thing that helped me through all of that was having a positive mindset. My gut was telling me that I knew what it was, and I was right. And I should have looked it up sooner. Like, sometimes I have those like thoughts, like, what if I said something sooner, or what if, but when I told her to go to the hospital, that's when they found out. And so I knew what the outcome was going to be, because when they had done the biopsy, they were like, oh, it's this type of cancer. And when I searched it up, it's not curable. You can't do surgery on it. You can't, especially at stage 4. And so
It was colon cancer or what?
Yes. Yeah. Because at first I thought it was like in the stomach, but when they did the biopsy, they're like, it's colon cancer.
Yeah.
And it was like a certain type of cancer. It was like a mucousy type of cancer. So like fluid would build up in her stomach, and like her stomach would grow. Her stomach was literally the size of like a 9-month pregnant woman.
Oh.
Yeah. And like, it hurt my heart to see my mom like that in so much pain, because like, she was fine a month before that, like completely fine. And then from it going from that point to like her not being able to move, having to stay here and work, and not being able to be there for her, because having a 2-year-old is hard, especially having her in the hospital. It's really hard, because obviously we don't want her to unplug stuff. When you search up a certain type of like cancer, most of the information about it is right. In August, I ended up doing a pop-up to raise money for funeral, and I had people tell me, they're like, why are you doing that? Like, she's not gonna pass away, blah blah blah. But in my heart,
Did she know that it was for the funeral?
My mom?
Yeah. Like, did she know that the money was for that?
No, she didn't even know I was raising money.
Okay.
But I had gone to work on a Saturday, and she was actually home that day because she ended up choosing end of life care, because there were no more options for her, and that was only within a month. And it was either she can do chemo, but it's not going to do anything for her, or she can come home and just spend the rest of her time with her family. So she chose that route. Well, that Saturday that I did the pop-up, I was gonna go home and pack my stuff, and then go to my mom's house and spend like the whole month of September there. I ended up going that day to my mom's house, and she was no longer able to talk, walk, move, anything. The last thing I told her was like, I love you, Mom. And she tried telling me, but she couldn't. But I know she was trying to tell me. And so the next day, she had to be rushed to the hospital because she wasn't able to take her meds anymore. And that night, she ended up passing away, literally 2 days after getting home from the hospital.
Maybe that's all she needed to feel at peace, though, to go, you know? Because they do say that when they're in that environment and feel safe enough that they will let go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
so
true.
She could have even been holding on from the hospital just to be at home.
Exactly, yeah. And I never showed my emotional side to her because I didn't want her to feel like it was going to break us. I felt like the first 2 months, I did a pretty good job at handling it, but I feel like it gets harder every day. So like having to handle grief and work and life and just everything, it's hard. It's really hard. But it keeps me going because I know my mom's not in pain anymore. There's just so much to be blessed for. My daughter is like my number one motivation, and like I know my mom would want me to keep going. The relationship my mom and my daughter had was like the best relationship I've ever seen anybody have. Like, my mom was always there for my daughter. She always wanted my daughter to go over and sleep over on her days off. Like, it was just like them two against like everybody.
Against the world.
Like their relationship was so perfect. And like,
that's so
I think
sweet.
that's like one thing that hurt me the most is that like my daughter won't be able to see her grandma, or like my mom won't be able to see my daughter grow up. But
they had that time together.
They did, yeah. And I'm so glad that I was able to see that, and like my daughter was able to experience that love. And it's hard, but honestly, like I know this is life, and like I know like it sucks. Like, cancer sucks. It's really unfair, and like it takes people away really quickly. And but it makes me see everything so much differently. And to me, I feel like having a negative mindset won't get me anywhere.
No.
And so that's why I keep going. That's why I show up and I still go tattoo people. That's why I'm a very open person. So whenever me and my clients are talking about something and they really want to get into like
Get
in the
deep?
conversation, yeah, I will do that. Like
Yeah.
I am a person who doesn't care about going deep into the conversation. Yeah. And so I feel like having a positive mindset helps everything. Like obviously like there's hard times, like, but during the day like my clients keep me busy. When I have great clients come into my shop and like I tattoo them and we have a great time and I connect with them, that's my reason why I keep tattooing. Yeah, because it just makes work so much better.
You can use grief as something to hold you back and stop you from doing your daily tasks, right? Or you can use it as motivation, like you have, to keep you going. And gosh, that like totally caught me off guard. You saying that you lost your mom, because I can't. It's so, if you haven't experienced it, you can't even imagine. You can try to, but
exactly.
you can't.
No,
and
you don't know the
for,
situation until you're in it.
Yeah. And just having it keep you going. And like you said, she would want you to keep on going for your daughter and for her. And you can be sad that one day she's not going to see your daughter get married, or one day she's not going to see her go to homecoming, all that stuff. Or you can be happy for the time that they did have and cherish that moment.
Exactly.
You know?
Because like, as hard as it is, it's life, and sometimes life sucks. I'm here now and I am able to keep going. I am able to be there for other people. I am able to, do good things for other people, give my daughter what she deserves. And, because I know that, like, let's say I'm falling apart or something, like, I am not going to be able to be there for people unless I have a positive mindset. And, at home, when I'm by myself, I can go and have that negative mindset. Like, it's fine. But when I'm around other people, not just because I want to be positive, but when I have positive people around me, it completely changes everything.
It's okay, and it's so healthy to cry, and you should cry, and you should be mad, and you should be like, God, what the crap?
Yes, exactly, yes.
Like, that's not fair. You shouldn't have taken her that soon. I will trust you, even though I'm freaking mad at you.
Yeah.
I have definitely cussed God out before,
yeah.
right? Because I'm so angry.
Yes.
But I'm sure he gives me grace because he knows that it is hard here.
Yes.
Why? I've been there where, why would you even give me such an amazing person just to rip him away?
Yeah.
But it's also, then I view it as, no, thank you so much for giving me this amazing person who has shaped me into who I am, who gave me the mindset, who gave me my blood, gave me my last name, right? Who gave me his features. Like, thank you so much for the experience that I had with him, because I wouldn't want it with anyone else.
Exactly.
If you gave me a dad that lived for 100 years old, I would still take mine, who passed away early, right?
Exactly.
So it's just, it's such a bittersweet thing. But gosh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
It's okay, but it's not okay. But also it's okay. And it makes you understand people, like you said.
It does,
now you can put yourself in their shoes, and you can use your testimony to help people who are going through it, the same thing.
Exactly.
Who maybe they just got diagnosed with cancer, or maybe their dad, their brother just got, and now they don't know what to do. But if you're there to help guide them and give them advice on that stuff.
Exactly. That's so true. And I feel like a big part of tattooing is like, I know there's a lot of tattoo artists who tattoo memorial tattoos for a loved one, either they're still here or if they're gone. And I feel like going through this makes it not so much easier, but it makes me able to connect with people more. And I feel like, some people are just like, oh, I just want a tattoo. Like, it's whatever. It doesn't mean anything. But then there's other people who this tattoo means the world to them. And me being able to do it for them means the world to me.
Now I'm going to tell you, just because you're a tattoo artist, and I feel like I want to tell you. So this tattoo is a tigre for my dad, right? The tiger. He had a big tiger tattoo. And me and my siblings, all except for one, have a tigre somewhere. So one of my brothers has it I think it's right here.
Yeah.
The other brother has it on his bicep. I have that one. And then this R is for my grandpa, whose name is Roberto.
Okay.
But it's because my grandpa, immigrant who came to the U.S. when he was 15, has worked in the fields his entire life. And I mean, if you see his arms, like his scars tell stories.
Yes.
Just him. I'm so grateful for him, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have the opportunity to live in the United States. I wouldn't have the opportunities I have. And I don't think a lot of people. I think people who are privileged enough to be from the U.S. can't see can't understand the struggles that immigrants go through and the sacrifices they made, right?
Yes.
So my grandpa could have had money in Mexico, but he chose to be dirt poor here in the United States for his future family, for generations to come.
Exactly.
You know,
That's so true.
It's like he could have had a pretty good life in Mexico, but also not, because the government wasn't that great. Or he could have left everything he knew
Exactly.
with a few bucks in his pocket, and that's what he did, to bet on his, so this is a reminder to me, to make the most out of my life, because to give him things.
I love that. I love how you're able to see it all the time too.
That's why I put it right here, because I want to see it.
I always tell my clients too, if they want to be able to see a tattoo every day, do it on the arms.
Right.
You're able to see it every single day.
That's why I wanted this one right here, so I can see that too.
Exactly. That's so true.
That's
so true. Kind of like how I was saying earlier, people don't know the situation until they're in it. So, same with my mom. She came when she was 18 years old, left her family, had me when she was 20, and if it weren't for her being here, I would not be here tattooing today.
Isn't that wild to think about?
It's crazy.
I don't know if I would have the courage to leave my country, to leave everything and come to a new country where you don't know the language, you don't know people.
Yes. Exactly.
He met my grandma because he met her brother here working in California.
Oh, okay.
But he came by himself, and he helped his dad come. And then when his dad wanted to go back to Mexico, he took him back and risked it again to come back.
Oh my gosh.
It's just wild to me. But I don't know if I would have the courage to do that.
I don't think so either.
I'm thankful that he did.
Yes, exactly.
So I wouldn't have to figure that out.
Exactly.
And and so many people pass away coming across the border.
They do.
So,
that's so true.
But, so do you think that there is a psychology behind tattoos? You hear people who get full of tattoos because do you think it's possible to be addicted to tattoos?
I feel like it is. I feel like it's different for everybody. I've had clients who they're like, okay, I'm just gonna get one, and they actually do just get one. And then I have clients who are like, okay, I'm just gonna get one, and then they come back every couple weeks. So I feel like it just depends. I know people who have more trauma, they tend to get more tattoos because that's a way for them to cope. But I feel like it just depends on the person. A lot of people think that I would be so tattooed because I have access to get tattooed whenever I want. But I don't. I feel like it's just so different to everybody. When I was younger, I would just go on Pinterest and be like, I want this tattoo it on me. But now that I'm more mature, I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. I should have put more thought to it. And I don't regret my tattoos, but now I definitely put more thought into my tattoos.
And so what would you tell someone that maybe wants this tattoo, but they're not sure, but they kind of do?
So I do have people who are like, I want this, but I'm not sure. I just tell them to wait on it.
Okay.
Because I don't want them to regret it, and it's just better I sometimes tell people to put the tattoo as their screensaver. Look at it every day, and then if they don't like it, don't get it.
Wait, that's really smart.
I felt like I seen that one time somewhere, and so I followed that, and it actually works.
That's really smart.
Because I had a client come back to me a whole year later, and it was not that tattoo that she wanted.
Okay. If tattoos had an expiration date and if they disappeared after a year, I would be all
oh my gosh, me too.
I love this sounds weird, but I love the feeling.
Me too. I totally get that.
It hurts so good. But people who have experienced trauma, and there's research says that people who have experienced hardships are more likely. I think it's I forgot the percentage, but I looked this up. They're more likely to have piercings and tattoos.
Yes. Yeah. That's true.
And I think it's a way to process your trauma. Because then you finally, for me, I feel like you finally let go of maybe the anger, the resentment of whatever negative emotion you felt.
Yeah.
It's a way to accept.
Yes.
Like, it's a form of acceptance, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I feel like that too because when I did this tattoo for my mom here, I felt like it helped in so many ways. Like, hey, at least I'm not freaking out here doing drugs and stuff. Like, I'm over here getting tattooed.
I could be
and
doing
it's like
that,
a form
but
of
I'm not.
Exactly, that's so true. And I feel like it's a form of kind of like therapy.
No,
because
absolutely.
whenever my clients come to me and they come and get these tattoos, they're like, thank you so much for listening to me or stuff like that. They're like, it feels like a therapy session. I'm like,
which is so good.
'cause
That's what
I
you want.
Like, my goal for the studio, like every time people go in my shop, they're like, this does not look like a tattoo studio.
Really?
Especially when people bring
I'm
their
curious to see
husbands
what
or
it looks like.
girlfriends or boyfriends. They go in and they're like, this isn't a tattoo shop. And I'm like, it's not meant for you. So a lot of men say that it's not a tattoo shop. But I did the tattoo shop the way women will feel more comfortable being in.
So do you only tattoo women?
Basically, I mean, I tattoo men here and there, but it's rare.
How did you get into tattooing and why tattooing?
It was super random. So during COVID, my husband and I moved to Arizona. I went from working at a daycare to warehouse. And it was just not for me. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get into permanent makeup.
Yeah.
And then last minute, I decided not to. So I ended up doing a little course, a filing tattoo course. Every time I think of tattoo artists, like, I never think of a young person just getting into tattooing.
Yeah.
Especially a female tattoo artist. Like, you rarely see them. And so, I decided to go for it, to the course, and I walked out of there knowing nothing. I got taught nothing. All I knew how to do was just pick up the machine and start tattooing on fake skin, and that was it. I did not know how to sanitize properly. I didn't know how to print out a stencil, how to put a stencil on somebody. Literally the basics, nothing. I decided to teach myself. So for hours, I would watch YouTube videos. I would practice on fake skin. Then I started doing like discounted tattoos on people.
Yeah.
And probably about 2 months after I started getting a little bit of clientele, we decided to sell our home in Arizona and move back to Washington. We came back and I had to start all over. But I wasn't nervous because I'm from Sunnyside. I grew up there, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have no problem getting clients.
Yeah.
Well, my father-in-law's a tattoo artist, so I was working out of his tattoo shop. I opened my books, and nobody books with me, and I'm like, shoot, I should have not moved from Arizona. This was a big mistake. About 2 weeks, no, probably a month goes by, and I have not taken one client. And so I have no income coming in. So I started applying at jobs in Tri-Cities since our goal was to move back to Tri-Cities.
Yeah.
And I got the job at Home Depot. I did not want to work there. It motivated me more to try and get more clients. Yeah, nobody booked
Were you
with
starting
me.
to get more clients when you would do those discounts?
No, not yet. And so my sister-in-law is also a tattoo artist. She was like, let's do a Valentine's flash sheet. So it's like little flash sheets and like little designs with a theme. So like Valentine's, it was like hearts and like scriptures.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, we'll just do, she does it for $50. And I was like, okay, I'll do it for $30 since like, I'm an apprentice still. And so Valentine's Day comes up. Nobody shows up for me. Nobody shows up.
What?
And I'm like, oh, like I really messed up. I'm going to have to work at Home Depot. And so I end up leaving. And so I get a message saying, hey, if you draw me a design, I'll see if I like it. And if I do, I'll book. And I would always do those designs. And 99% of the time, people wouldn't book. But I was like, yeah, I'll do it. But
you said 90% of the time those people wouldn't book?
No, they take that design and go somewhere else. And so I was like, okay, this is not smart for me to do. But I was really trying to gain clients.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. So I had left the shop and I left my iPad at the shop. So I had to go back. Well, I ended up going back around like 5:30 p.m. The lobby's completely packed with people. and my sister-in-law was like, we need help, like, do you want to like help? And I'm a person who likes being on a schedule, so doing it so last minute, thinking I wasn't gonna tattoo that day, I was about to say
caught you
no.
off guard?
Yeah, I was about to say no.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, if I don't do it, like, I may never have this chance again. So I was like, okay, you know what, yes. Well, I ended up tattooing 5 people that day. And so those people took pictures of their tattoo, tagged me, and then other people started following me.
It's like the referral.
Yes, exactly. And most of those people were from here, from Tri-Cities. So I'm like, that's perfect, because, you know, my goal is to move to Tri-Cities. And so, yeah, I started getting followers like that, messages. People were like, how much for this? Like, can you do this? And I'm like, yes. And at that time, it was like 2021, fine line tattoos were barely starting to become the big thing.
A trend,
no one was able to find a tattoo artist here who specialized in fine line.
Yeah, and I think the guy that I went to, he didn't really know what, I don't think he knew what it was.
Yeah.
Because I just did a walk-in, you know? So.
Yes.
And,
I know. I have those too. I have a tattoo like that too.
Yeah. But I wouldn't like, you know, take it back. So.
Yes. No, that's true. I feel like it kind of has a story too. Every tattoo has a story.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And so when people started following me, they were messaging me, and then I think I was supposed to start at Home Depot a week later, but so many people were interested in fine line tattoos. I ended up booking out the whole month within a week. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was crazy. And then I told my husband, I was like, should I still work at Home Depot? Like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
He's like, you do whatever you...
Because you didn't start yet.
No.
Okay.
I still had a week left till I started.
Okay.
And he was like, you do what you need to do. My gut was telling me not to work at Home Depot and to focus on tattooing. Yeah. And my goal for tattooing was to make my own schedule, because I knew once I had a kid, I would have more flexibility than working a 9 to 5. And I would want to be there more for my kid. And I also didn't want to be a stay-at-home mom. I like being busy. I like going out and doing
working,
stuff.
Doing
yes,
something,
exactly. And so that was my number one motivation. It was, when I have a baby, I would want to be there for them.
Were
and
you
make my own
pregnant at the
schedule.
time?
No.
Or? Okay.
Yeah, I was not pregnant yet.
It was just a vision.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. And so I think I got that mentality because when I used to work at childcare, like I would see, you know, parents would be gone for hours, and like I know not everybody has that choice, and I had that choice of tattooing and making my own schedule. So I said, okay, I am not going to go to Home Depot, and I'm going to focus 100% on fine line tattooing. I was working at the Sunnyside tattoo shop for about 6 months, and then I ended up finding a little room off like Queensgate inside a hair salon. It made the business so much busier because all my clients were coming from Tri-Cities to Sunnyside. So now I was here. Ever since I did that Valentine's flash sheet, it's been busy.
Okay.
Even till this day. And I'm so grateful, because if I was not doing tattoos, I don't know what I would be doing right now. Yeah. And
you
honestly,
you working at a warehouse maybe.
I wouldn't be here right now probably doing this podcast. I'd be at work.
Wait, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's crazy. And so, yeah, I feel like with this, I have so much more time. With tattooing, you know, you have to have the time to draw designs in advance. Like, and I used to do that at home, but now my daughter doesn't let me. She'll go up to me and she'll turn the iPad off. She's like, no, Mom.
Attention to
yeah,
me.
exactly. Yeah. So now I still go to work, and then I just draw designs there, and then I have like my designated tattoo days and stuff like that. This is why I wanted to do tattoos, to be able to be there for my daughter. So yeah, I feel like I finally found that balance of work and life. So what I do is like I go take my daughter to daycare, I go to work, and then at the same time I feel like I'm able to focus and prioritize my clients so much more now. Yeah, when my clients sit in my chair, they're like my number one priority. Like I don't have to worry about anything else. And yeah, honestly, like it's such a big blessing to be able to do this. It's brought me so much opportunities, and like I've met so many nice people, sweet people who have been there for me after like life is crazy right now.
Yeah.
And so I've had a lot of people support me, and it's just crazy how tattooing can bring a lot of people together and how much support there actually is around you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you realize that by who shows up for you.
Yes.
When you moved to Arizona for COVID, what made you move to Arizona?
Before moving to Arizona, we moved to Tri-Cities. And so I ended up moving to Tri-Cities when I was still in high school, in my senior year.
wow.
So I would drive from here to Sunnyside, go to school, come back, work, and then we were here for about 6 months. And then March, we ended up moving to Arizona. We moved to a city called Buckeye. Have you ever
Where's
heard
it
of
by?
Buckeye? It's like really far away. It's like one of the last cities before heading towards Yuma and then California. So it's
Okay.
really, it's growing though. It's getting really, really big. And so from Buckeye, we ended up moving to Surprise, Arizona. It's next to like Glendale area where like the stadium is at.
I know more of that area.
Yes, yeah. We moved there and we bought a home because we thought we were going to live there forever. And then so once I got into tattooing, I was like, you know what, like I miss home, and like once I have kids, like I would want her to be next to her grandma. I ended up selling the house without even telling my husband, but he did not care because he was so homesick. I did him a favor. Yes. And like we talked about it, and like I asked him before, like I'm like, okay, if we ever move back, would you move back? Like his answer was always like, yes, I would. While we were on leave, COVID was happening, and so we just never ended up going back to work. And then when it was time to go back to work, I didn't want to go back. I was like, no. So what did I do after that? I think I started working at the Walmart. No, just kidding. The Amazon warehouse.
Okay.
They have like a million Amazons over there. So I was working there for a little bit, and I did not like it. So then from there, I started working on my husband's job, which was the Walmart distribution center in Arizona. And so it was so much better because we were only 5 minutes away from there. So I was like, okay, I'll just stay there.
Easy commute.
Yes. And then after a while, I was like, you know what? This is not for me. So I went back to Amazon. And then I was like, I don't know, like it's not for me.
Yeah.
So during that time, I opened up, it was all during COVID time still. So when COVID happened, I ended up selling Red Bull drinks and like delivering because no one knew what that was over there.
Yeah.
Like,
wait, that's smart. Yeah. Little entrepreneur.
Yeah, I know, right? And so people were like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And then so like I expanded from like Red Bull, smoothies, lemonades.
How did you find clientele for that? Or people to get like
honestly,
take orders to?
No. I don't know. I think I just started following like different people from Arizona that would pop up on there. I made my page, and then like
you made a Red Bull or a like drink page
on Instagram, and then so I would just post drinks on there, and then people would find me. And then also one of my husband's cousins, he would share, and he was living in Arizona for about like 5 years already. So he was like, I'm just gonna share your page, and so then people that knew him would follow us, and then those people would tell other people, and then I started delivering. And honestly, it was a good little side business. And then so I ended up doing that full time and quitting my warehouse job. And then my husband ended up quitting his job too to help me because it ended up getting really busy. It was such a big, like, it was crazy. Like we would do big events and like
how do you feel thinking about that now?
It was a fun experience. I feel like because of that, I have a lot of like small business experience with tattooing. Like I was able to kind of like learn like how to like manage like social media, like my Instagram page, how to like kind of like get people interested into what you're selling and stuff like that.
The marketing.
Yes, exactly. And how to talk to people, what to post, what not to post. And then the reason we ended up stopping and going back to work was because summers over there are really hot. Really, really hot. And so we only had like a little tent and we would sell underneath, and our ice would always like melt so quick. And like our goal was to get a trailer, but it's a lot of work to do that, especially with all the licensing and all of that. And like we just didn't have the money for it. Honestly, like we would barely make enough money to pay our bills. That was it. We had no fun money, nothing. If we had extra money, it was to come down and visit our family in Washington.
I think that's that's a big reason. Hold on, it's getting dark again. That's a big reason why people don't pursue their businesses because they don't have the funds for it.
Yes, exactly.
But
I feel like the funds.
Yeah, it's the funds. But there's the people that don't because of that, right? And then I guess my question is, when do you know to get a business loan?
I have no idea how to answer that because I've never taken out a loan.
Yeah.
I've always used my own money. One thing that definitely helped with tattooing was, so we had bought a home over there and we sold it. So we had a little bit of money, like a little bit of income to use. But also, like, I'm a very big person on like having no debt. Because we wanted to buy a house. And I knew if we wanted to buy a house, we have to have no debt. Yeah. That was the goal. And I feel like if I have a goal, I will do everything I can to try and reach it. Yeah. And so I like to think ahead. I like to think in the future. And so, yeah, so once we came back, I was able to not worry about not getting clients those first couple months because we had that little bit of extra income. We did buy a coffee trailer with that money though, here in Washington, because my goal was still to open a coffee shop. Okay. That never happened though. We never opened the coffee shop. So what did you do with the trailer? So we just kept it. We just kept it. Now? We ended up selling it. Okay. Yeah. So I told my husband, like, let's buy the trailer. Like, we have the money for it now. Like, that's what we always wanted to do. So yeah, we bought it. And then so we started working on the business a little bit, but then tattooing was blowing up. Yeah. And so I was like, I don't have the time for it. I told my husband, I was like, it's going to have to be you to do that work. And, he went back to work too, so like we both didn't have the time. Right. And then I was like, okay, well, it can't just be sitting here. And so he was like, okay, I'm gonna start like planning everything to open up the business. But then like another coffee shop was opening here and then there. And then I was like, you know what, like tattooing is doing really good, and like we know how hard it was to do a coffee shop. It's a lot of work, a lot of work. And so we're like, you know what? We're going to sell it. And thank goodness we did, because when we sold it, we used that money to buy our house. Yeah. Okay. And like get rid of our debt and everything. So like, that's why I like to think in the future, because if we did not have that trailer, we wouldn't have our house. We wouldn't have what we do now. Yeah. Yeah. And so I try and be smart with like my next step and stuff like that. And it's not always perfect every time, but if I can try and do something that's going to help me in the future, I'm going to do that. Because
you can't predict the outcome, but you can like respond to what happens, right?
Yes, exactly.
So you make a decision, and then whatever happens, then you respond to it.
Yes, exactly.
And I also think that your gut feeling,
exactly. That's so
is
true.
Usually right. So.
Because our goal was to open the coffee shop, but it just didn't work out, and it's okay because tattooing is keeping me really, really busy. And it's working out, and then we have more plans to come with tattooing.
Do you know any of the history with tattooing?
Well, like I've looked into it and stuff. Like I've watched videos, especially when I first started tattooing. I looked more into like female tattoo artists. That's what I looked into. Yeah. Oh, there's a tattoo artist in a certain country. I can't remember where, but she does like hand poke tattoos. Oh, and people
like the stick and poke?
Yes. Okay. And it's like with a long stick and like a small needle. Yeah. And she kind of like hits the stick and tattoos you. Oh. Yeah. And you have to kind of like travel up to her and like hike to her to be able to get a tattoo by her.
That's really cool. Would you ever do
she's
that?
One of the last ones. I don't know. Yeah. If I did, it'd probably be like, it's a little too like tattoo, but experience.
Is it like a ceremonial thing? Is that on yet?
I know there's been people who travel to this country for like vacation, and then they hike up to her and they get these tattoos. Like a tour guide has to take you to her. Yeah. And I think she's one of the last ones doing that.
Yeah. That's kind of wild. Yeah. I was just curious because I was listening to a podcast and they said that like 6,000 years ago when they undid a mummy, that they saw that the mummy had tattoos. Really? Yeah. And I was just curious. 6,000 years ago. Oh, dang. So I was curious on what they would use to tattoo. You know?
That's true.
Like, what do you use 6,000 years ago to tattoo?
Honestly, I feel like as long as you have something pokey, like sharp, and like a
some
stick,
kind of color
and
or
the
what?
ink, I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. But I thought that was interesting. So I was just wondering if you knew anything about that.
No, not that. But I do know it's like a really, really old like thing when like it first started. Like and old. And like we have come so far with like technology and stuff like that. I use like a tattoo pen. So it's just like a big pen.
It's not a gun.
It's not like one of those other ones, like the traditional machines.
Yeah.
And like some people like them, some people don't. My father-in-law still uses like the traditional tattoo machines. But I like the pen because it makes me feel like I'm just like coloring, drawing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like, it's just so much easier. Like, it's so much easier to sanitize, so much easier to like charge. Like there's no cords. Like it doesn't get in the way.
That's cool.
Yeah. And it's a really quiet machine. So you don't even hear it compared to like the traditional tattoo machines. Those are loud. Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. As like a young female tattoo artist, we definitely get told a lot of things by like older traditional men tattoo artists. Like they think it's just like a little hobby for us, or like that we don't take it serious.
So what do you wish those people actually knew about you as a tattoo artist? Or do you wish that they would respect you more? Or what do you wish that they,
honestly,
how
like,
they would interact with you?
I ignore it. Like I don't care if they say anything, because the reason I wanted to do that, like I love it. It does not feel like a job to me. I do it because I can connect with clients, and like I'm not doing it for the money. Like obviously we need money to live.
It's a bonus,
but exactly. But I don't do it for the money. I get clients who are so sweet, or they come back multiple times. I throw in like a free little tattoo, or I discount it, or I don't just do it for the money. And my goal is not to be rich, but to be comfortable. Yeah. That's my goal.
Yeah. I think my goal is to have enough where I have freedom to decide if I want to not to go to work, because that sounds weird, but if I want to take 2 weeks off and not have a problem with money, I think I would want that.
That's so true. Yeah. I mean, it would be nice to be rich, but I mean, money just doesn't appear.
But we're going to speak it into existence.
Yes,
we're
exactly.
going to be, we're going to have enough money to be able to take time off if we want to.
Yes,
right?
exactly. Okay. That's so true.
Okay. And be rich.
Yes, exactly.
It's okay to want to be rich,
yeah,
I think.
Exactly.
Okay.
I know. That's
Who doesn't
so
want to be rich?
Right?
Okay.
I know.
If you say you don't want to be rich, you're lying. Okay.
Yep.
But give away your money generously if you are. I think charities, all that stuff, right? Pay back.
Yeah.
Pay it back.
Yes, that's so true.
In 1940s, I believe, was when people started getting more and more tattoos again, because there was a time where even I feel like after that, where if someone saw a person with tattoos, they immediately thought that they were criminals, or that they were just bad people, all that stuff.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that stigma that had been placed on people with tattoos?
Honestly.
Or trashy, like just that stigma.
Well, honestly, I feel like we've come a long way from like back in the day, because I have clients who are like 80-year-old come to me, and they're like, I've never got a tattoo, because they're like, when we were younger, we thought tattoos were for like gangsters or criminals. And I was like, don't worry, like the little flower is not going to make you look like a criminal. But back then, like that's what they thought. That's what their mindset was. Like obviously, like if you had a tattoo, that meant like you were in a gang, or you were a biker or a criminal or something like that. But nowadays, it's so much more like
it tells a story.
It does. Yeah. And like, it's so much more like, how do I say it? Like more relaxed, because now the military, you're able to have tattoos.
And you used to not be able to?
No.
Oh, wow.
Back then, no. Yeah. And like you weren't able to have like hand tattoos. Same with, I think, like nurses and stuff.
And for work, if you had tattoos, you'd have to cover it up.
Yes, you
did.
And
even not too long ago, that was still a thing.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Even I considered, well, should I have a tattoo right here? But I think, even if they did make me cover it up, it would be pretty easy.
Yes.
But, yeah. Okay. And then this podcast is Rewrite with Allie. So what is a area in your life right now that you're rewriting?
I am rewriting my business, because, so me and the tattoo artist are coming out with a new business idea. So we're going to be doing tattoo events at weddings.
Do you want me to put this in?
Yeah, you can put it in. Yeah. And so, I feel like being able to do that, and it's going to bring like excitement to the tattoo area of like our business, because You don't see that around here. I don't think I've seen anybody do tattoos at weddings.
I know a girl. Do you know a girl named Haley Garcia from Prosser? She does tattoos, and she also just started. I think it would be really cool if you guys had like a permanent jewelry thing too.
Oh, I actually,
let me
when
show
I do
you.
pop-ups, I bring permanent jewelry, like a business.
Oh,
So they
really?
can do their little business out of my shop.
That's really cool. Oh, she doesn't have it in her bio. I have to find it. But,
Okay.
yeah, Haley Garcia from Prosser, she does like permanent jewelry.
Oh, really?
And like little tattoos too. So,
oh, that's so cute.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think that like weddings,
Oh my
permanent
gosh,
jewelry would be a
permanent
good
jewelry,
idea.
You put your mindset onto something, you will get through it.
Yeah.
You know, and so, you know, if you're struggling, you will get through it. You'll find a way.
As
for
long
sure.
as you keep going.
Exactly.
And
As long
push
as you
through
keep
and
going.
persevere. Yeah.
That's so true. Yeah.
Because they say that when you feel like giving up, that's usually when your breakthrough happens.
Exactly.
Like instead of
You're
giving
just
up
being
and going
tested.
down, you're just being tested. You're about to hit, you know, you're about to skyrocket. So that's how I always think about it. Like, just keep going. If you keep on putting in the work, the time and the opportunity will come.
Yes.
Just keep on trucking.
Exactly. Yeah.
Keep swimming.
And if it doesn't work out, I mean, find another way.
Yeah. Where there's a will, there's a way. You'll figure it out.
That's so true.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming
No,
on.
thank
That was
you.
fun.
I appreciate it.
Yes, we are at Blue Carrot right now.
Yeah.
I got the Nior beet drink. So it's beet, blackberry, apple, lemon, ginger. And it's very, very tasty, very delicious. What did you get?
I think it was a tropical mango bliss.
Okay,
and
yum.
I can't remember what it has in it, but I know for sure it has mango, banana, and like a type of nut. I think it's cashews.
Okay.
I think
you
can taste it, and it's so good. Yeah.
Okay, amazing.
Super good.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, where can everyone find you?
So I am located on Clearwater, not too far from here, but you can find me on Instagram at Artistry Studios or under 59 Tattoos by Jilly.
Okay,
Yeah.
yay. Thank you.
No, thank you. I
Okay, that was
appreciate
fun.
it. Yeah.